Welcome back. So in this video today, we're going to be covering the indicators that are in EZ Algo V2. We'll be covering over each indicator and how to use them correctly. And just a quick reminder, EZ Algo V2 is a full trading toolkit. It's not just signals, covering a vast amount of indicators that are proven to work well across a ton of markets. So no matter if you're trading stocks, crypto, commodities, meme coins, whatever you're trading, it covers it all. So we're going to be going over these and how you can use them effectively. Now for strategies and how to use them together for different long or short strategies, we'll cover that specifically on the next video and how you can use both EZ Algo and the new indicator EZ Algo oscillator waves together for your everyday trading. All right, let's get started. So I have the settings pulled up here. Also have Bitcoin weekly chart popped up. Now, as always, for a quick reminder, to ever access settings for any of the scripts, just hover over the script name, click that gear icon, and settings will populate. Now, if you're ever unsure of what anything inside the script does, these eye icons will explain in great detail on what you're looking at and how to work it and use it. So for example, our indicator overlay right here, market trend, if you're ever unsure what this does, hover your mouse over or click on the eye icon if you're on mobile, and it'll explain exactly what it does. This goes for everything that is inside EZ Algo V2. And as always, each section is organized neatly for you. So for the dashboards, to quickly turn them on or off, everything with the signals, your indicator overlay, candle signals, support and resistance, take profit and stop loss, which we covered in the last video, data dashboard, which is right here, we'll cover that today, the trade setup dashboard, which I don't have that turned on right now, and of course how to set alerts, which we'll cover that in a later video, and we'll get into the weeds of it on how you can easily set these up, as well as how you can set up automated trading using the script as well. Okay, so Bitcoin USD weekly chart's up. Now there's quite a few indicators that are a bit different from what you've seen last time up on the chart. So let's go over some of these, and then I'm going to go one by one down the list of our indicator overlay that's neatly laid out in settings. Put them up on the chart and tell you what it means. Of course, this green cloud right here is our macro trend. That is right here. And of course, we hover over that eye icon, showcases long-term trend structure, and you can also control the speed of it if you want to show more crossovers or fewer crossovers. So faster trends or slower trends. Currently the preset is at 3, but you can always change that to adapt to your own trading style or strategies. Now, on higher time frames, this is a great indicator to tell you the overall trend of the market. If we're in a bear market or a bull market, this has been solid on Bitcoin, it's solid on equities, solid on a ton of different assets. So this is our macro trend indicator right here. Next, another indicator that V2 has that's up on the chart right now is this green and red line. That's our quick trend indicator. I currently have it set to scalp mode. Now scalp mode is a tighter band, and basically it's just going to tell you what direction it currently is. This is a great indicator. It straight up tells you what direction price is currently heading in to a great degree of accuracy. And if you, let's say if you're trading a longer term trends and you want to just switch it up a little bit, well, there's a swing mode as well. And all that's going to do is going to give you a different type of band that is more delayed, and it's going to just tell you the broader trend as well for that. So what we can do here with that, let me just shut some of these off so they don't get in the way. Let's go to our weekly time frame. Let's switch over to 4-hour time frame. A lot of people have been having difficulty trading Bitcoin lately just because it's been in this crazy sideways range. So our quick trend, if we go to scalp mode for this, just to show you, give it a second for it to load. It is laying out the entire trend, right? Green means up, red means down, to keep it simple. But it basically tells you the trend direction pretty accurately. Now, if you want something a bit smoother to pick up a longer term trends, all we're going to do is hit that swing mode. And now, as we can see, it's a longer term trend band, and it's red, and it's still telling us that the overall trend direction is down. So that's just a quick trend indicator right here that was up on the screen. Our macro trend, even on 4-hour time frame, like I said, in every single time frame this works really well, has been down. That's something that I've been saying from the beginning. If you follow my Twitter account at Teaching Crypto, or x.com right now, I should say, until this trend changes green for me, the trend is still down. Once this turns green, then there's a higher degree of purpose that we're probably going to be testing these upper levels, whether that is up here, try to get back up to the 95K range, or if we're going to go up here and test 100K or above. But until then, the trend right here is still down, and we're going to respect the trend. And whenever you use this macro trend cloud, you know your sell signals obviously are going to be stronger than your buy signals. Your buy signals, you're going to have to take profit a lot sooner. Your sell signals, probably going to be able to extend those out a bit. Okay, so next, moving on, going back into settings for EZ Algo V2. I have some indicators shut off now. Now, of course, we covered market trend, but we'll cover it again. So market trend is just an adaptable trend line. It's very easy to read. Basically, your green means it's an uptrend. When it shifts to yellow or orange, it just means that the market is ranging, it's in chop. And red is signaling a downtrend or corrective trend that's happening. So you can see when Bitcoin made its high right here, it quickly shifted over to red, indicating that downtrend started. We have some chop, downtrend, chop, downtrend, chop, downtrend, chop. That's just basically been the trend since that October 10th price action. And of course, if you want to change it up and have it cover a higher time frame, there's different modes for that as well, and you're going to have different results. This is good if you're using it on lower time frame, mid time frame, or higher time frame, and you just want less noise with that indicator. So this is the market trend line. I'm going to be shutting this off. Next, V2 has reversal zones, which are super useful to tell your potential top and bottom areas when price is ranging, as well as to signal to you when price is trending really hard in an uptrend or a downtrend. So simply putting this on now gives you a range that's adaptable, that's moving with price. As we can see right here, these bottom borders and these top borders are pretty solid at telling us when price is probably going to reverse, or what zone we should look at in case if it falls back inside from these top or these bottom borders. So as we can see right here, it ranged right up here, fell back in, hit the bottom of the reversal zone, bounced, came back down to this reversal zone area, bounced again, hit the top. And this whole structure, it's like ping pong, right? We got ping pong up here, ping pong back down here, up here, down here, right here. Even in the top for Bitcoin, it failed. Swooped down here, bounced, failed. And then it started trending hard underneath our mid reversal zone line until now it is just doing this really crappy price action, right? This sideways, choppy price action as these bands flatten out. So this is super useful just to find out potential reversal areas. And of course, inside V2, we do have reversal signals, such as our top and bottom alerts, or our price action candle dots. So there's different indicators you can combine with these to tell you what's the likelihood direction that is happening in with this. And this reversal zone is part of our strategy as well too, for our squeeze zones and our momentum breakouts and breaks down. So next we have our SR bands, our support and resistance bands, which basically gives us a trending support and trending resistance area for price. This is really good to use on multiple time frames. It's good to use as confluence, and it's good to use to find out what areas price needs to get above to start trending up again, and what price needs to get below if the price action is going to start switching on it. So these are our support and resistance bands. Now we already covered our macro trend. Now squeeze zones is another good indicator. That maps out when price is in a really tight range. These are usually precedes bigger moves that happens, breakouts or breakdowns. As you can see right here on Bitcoin Daily, you squeeze, price broke up, squeeze, price broke down, so on and so forth. And currently right now, price is being squeezed heavily, so whatever direction this decides to move, whether it's up or down, it's going to be a decent sized move again. Now we already covered our quick trend, but just to give you guys something cool to use together in this video, you can also use quick trend as well, and that can map out the direction of these squeeze zones. So right here we had a squeeze, price is going down, a quick trend on scalp mode is going down, price is going down, it's a good short. We have right here, price was going down while I was squeezing, flipped going back up. What ended up happening? Price going up. We had this right here, so the failed breakout. Now we can also apply our reversal zones with these squeeze zones to give us a little bit more confluence information. Now look at this. Price got up here, failed to hold this upper band. Well, what happened? Shot back down. So it's pretty cool how you can combine all these different indicators for confluence, use them together, and that's the whole point of this, and create multiple different strategies on your own that works best for you. And as always, excuse me, we have the signals as well to use too. So you can go in the nitty gritty on this for scalping, for trading, for swing trades, or you can just simply use the signals to know what direction price is heading in. All right, next let's cover over the candle signal markers in EZ Algo V2. So in settings, we have a whole section for candle signals, and these are just going to be different indicator plots that pops up on the candles. So we have our TB reversals, that's our top and bottom reversals. We have the TB reversals Pro, which is a different type of strategy that doesn't go off as much as the first one does, but they're pretty accurate when they do go off. We have our price action candle dots here, breakouts, and divergences based on RSI logic, which gives you quite a bit of a range, so you can know when those bullish or bearish divergences are taking place on the chart. So for our candle dots right here, let me shut some of these off so you can just see these. I know we covered it in the last video when we were covering EZ Algo's V2 signals. So price action candle dots are a pretty cool indicator. It lays a green or red dot over the candle. All this tells us is that when it's green, it's signaling to us that the price is in a stronger uptrend. When it's red, it tells us that price is in a downtrend. Now, when you do not have a dot, all that's telling us that there's no trend, and the trend is possibly trying to reverse, right? So reversals can be fake outs, and this can tell us if a reversal is trying to take place or if it's a fake out and the attempt is not strong enough. So you can use this on every time frame. It's really good to use, and it's a great confluence indicator to use as well. So next, going into our settings, under our candle signals, we have our first round of our top and bottom reversal alerts. Now there's a range. If you want to reduce the noise on the chart, the higher that you go, the less noise you're going to have on it. So as you can see, we have our bottom alerts, which populated here. They're solid to use on higher time frames and mid time frames, even low time frames. The noisier you get on lower time frames, you're just going to need more confluence on it. So as always, just because a top alert populates does not mean it's the absolute top. And And when a bottom alert populates, doesn't mean it's absolute bottom. All that tells us is that the trend is trying to shift, and there's enough data to suggest that it probably could shift to the other direction. But these can fail as well. That's why we always need confluence indicators for this. So let's just say that these are your first line of defense for a reversal might be taking place. But we always want to make sure if the other indicators in it agrees. So let's say our quick trend scalp. If our quick trend scalp turns red, then yeah, that top alert's probably going to go down. We have our bottom alert, quick trend turn green, then yeah, that's reversal, price is going to go up. So these are just different things you can do, different confluences you can add, just to make sure that these indicators or the reversal that it's indicating has a higher probability to follow through. Now we also have this one as well, our top and bottom reversal pro. Now these ones don't go off as often, but they're pretty solid when they do go off. And all this is going to indicate to us when these signals do go off is in the same thing as our first one, is if price is going to reverse. So they're pretty good to use together. So looking at Bitcoin daily, we can see these bottom alerts and these top alerts, which they look a bit different than our other top and bottom indicators. When they both go off, it can either mean two things. One, price is probably going to form a range here, so the downside is probably going to be limited for a while. Or two, we probably have a stronger case that a reversal will take place in this range. So they're pretty good indicators to use together. You can have them as confluence together, but as always, we want to make sure that our other trending indicators agree with that direction. All right, next, going down the list for our candle signals, we have our breakouts and we have our divergences as well. So breakouts just indicate to us that there's strong enough price action in that candle, that price is trying to move towards that direction. And then, of course, we have our divergences, which tells us if there's a bullish or bearish divergence taking place. As you can see, so red means bearish, green means bullish, and our green R's are bullish divergences trying to take place, and red is our bearish. Now, a couple cool things we can do with the breakouts is we can adapt these. We can add these to our squeeze zones, right? And we can also add these to our reversal zones as well. We can also add our quick trend as well too. So these different indicators. This is a breakout strategy that you can utilize in the script. And basically all it's going to tell you is the direction that this squeeze is trying to play out. So like this, in the strong uptrend that we had here, the price went from 80 up to, what was it, 112. We had our squeeze, our quick trend was bullish, and then we had all of these breakout momentum triangles play out, follow. So basically it has a good certainty to tell us the direction of our squeeze zones. And the reversal zones can tell us where is the area that it's probably going to stall out at, right? So if we're getting these arrows up here, it's probably going to stall at the top of our reversal trend, right? And then what happens? We had a reversal. We had a breakout try to take place at the bottom of our reversal zone. And what happened? We had another reversal. So it's a pretty cool indicator to use. We can use this across different time frames, different markets, and we can use this just to tell us what direction price is probably going to head to on this breakout. All right, so next we have our support and resistance type indicators, which I'm going to cover next. So we have a few different options here in V2. We can populate on our screens order blocks, our ranges, pivots, market structure, and we also can do multiple time frame VWAPs. So let's say, for example, we do our order blocks on 4-hour time frame. Chart goes from this, and now as we can see, we have order blocks listed up on the chart. So green is going to be our bullish order block, red is going to be our bearish. Now there's a lot of different strategies we can use these for, which we'll cover in the next video. But one of the things I want to cover in this is what do these percentages mean on these order blocks. So the higher the percentage is going to be the stronger the order block. So 25% is stronger resistance here than this 11%, way stronger than this 15.61%. So basically all this percentage means is how strong out of 100% is that order block. And that can give us a key indication if price tests that multiple times, if that order block is going to hold up, or if price is going to go lower to find new support, or if the support is weak, resistance is weak, and if we're going to go higher and find higher prices. But as for just mapping out our zones or our ranges, this is pretty solid by itself. So next, we have our show high and low zones. And that just does it all for you. It just basically gives you a trading range where price is currently in. We have our equilibrium, which is the mid zone for price. We have our low range and we have our high range for price. As you can see, price has just been chopping up and down. It's been chopping in between here. Now we can also look at this on higher time frames, like such daily, for example. Move this out of the way. And for daily, for our ranges here, we have our top, and we currently have our bottom for a low range. We have our equilibrium. So that's one of the things I've been saying. If our macro trend right here on 4 hour, this is daily, but if it turned green on lower time frame, we could have a shot at hitting equilibrium, which is around $100,000 to $103,000. But if we don't, then there's a possibility we might test lower resistance. But these ranges are solid at telling us the overall range. Higher time frame range, lower time frame range, whatever time frame you're trading on or chart, this can easily map it out. It can give you just your basic key levels versus you having to draw this out, map it out, or second guess yourself. Next, we have our pivot zones, and we have our market structure labels for that, which you can have the price labeled or the structured price structure for higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, or lower lows. And all that's going to do is just give us a different type of support and resistance based on pivots. And it's going to give us the key price level that it's at. And it's going to tell us the direction of price. Is it moving up, or is price shifting and now it's moving down? So this is super useful to map out structures and give you an ideal for key areas for price. All right, and finally moving on down the list, we have our VWAP overlay. And that's just going to tell us our important zones. And we can set these up for different time periods for that. So for example, if we go down, we have weekly time frame, monthly, 3-month, or 12-month, as well as it tells us the price at those areas, tells us former trading ranges, and where we should be, where price is currently at trading wise. So it's really handy to find our different zones, our different resistance points, different support points. And of course we can switch this up. We can even switch this up to yearly. And that can give us a whole new range of levels to take a look at. So for example, our 82.5 is a key zone, 67 and 51 are key levels as well, which is the areas where price was trading and bouncing back in 2024. So these are just another tool in the arsenal in V2 that you can add to these other indicators and use it for a variety of different reasons. Okay, so we covered quite a bit in this video. a little bit longer than what I wanted it to be. There's just a ton of stuff to cover in this script. But if you're ever confused on what you should use together, or any of that stuff, we can always simply use our presets to help us out. So our presets is just created indicators that will populate just off of a click of a button. So of course, when you go to the script name, click on the settings icon, head down to preset layouts. Now we have a bunch of different layouts that you can do. So let's say if you just want something that's just more trend following for the price, hit that. And now we got a bunch of different indicators populated. So we have our S&R bands, our market trend line, our macro cloud. We even have the price action candle dots. So this basically can give us an overall trend reading on price. Now let's say if you want something different, if we go down here, our swing trader preset, and basically that's going to give us our ranges again that we covered, our macro trend, which tells us the direction it's heading, and it's going to give us our quick trend but on swing mode. And that can give us a higher time frame look at what direction price is heading in. So let's say if we go to daily time frame, using this mode, it's currently telling us that the trend is down, right? And if it breaks up or changes, we have our different points that we can target for a long, or we can take a look at our low range for a sweep of the lows. So next we have our scalp trader. That's if you want to take quicker moves. So let's say if we take a look at, let's say a lower time frame, let's say 1 hour for price, which has been pretty choppy. Now our scalp trader preset is going to give us our price action candle dots. It's going to tell us the quick trend on the scalp mode, and of course our ranges as well. So this can be pretty useful along with the buy and sell indicators to give us a good indication for quick trades on where price is heading. All right, so next for our presets, we have our momentum trader. I'm going to switch time frame here. Let's take a look at a different time frame. And that's going to give us our ranges. It's going to give us basically a lot of the same indicators we had for the scalp mode. We now have our market trend line. We have our momentum arrows. We have the squeeze zones. This can tell us the direction that price is heading into if, let's say, we're more focused on these momentum style breakouts, right? So like I said, one of the strategies that we do have in V2 for using the squeeze zones, we have our momentum arrows. And when everything lines up, it's a pretty strong indication that price is going to move up. Now we have our market trend line right here, turned yellow, that means chop mode. What happened? Price started going sideways. Our indicators are kind of choppy and iffy. Squeeze highlighted starts showing up. Everything starts aligning to be red. We get these red triangles, and then price falls down. So super useful to use. And that preset mode that we have right here is our momentum trader. Now, if you want something simple, just to mark out key levels, we have the price action trader as well. And all that's going to do is just going to use the pivot points and use our range mapping and labels along with the price action candle dots. And all that's going to do is just give you key levels to look for. So if you're just trying to look for different levels on price, no matter what you're trading, it's going to do that for you. So again, all of these modes for these indicator layouts are all right here. Now, something to keep in mind when you use a preset layout, if you're trying to change these or want to add a different indicator, it's not going to work for that, right? So if you ever want to change it, you just got to hit none. And then it's going to go back to allowing you to pick what indicators you want to use on the chart. If you're unsure of what each of these presets do, the eye icon is going to explain what everything populates and how you should use it and what it's good for. So it's all done for you. All right, now to finish this up, I just want to go over the data dashboard in EZ Algo v2 right here. And that would be set for this video. So if we go in our settings, our dashboards, we can display them up here. We can change the size of how they populate on the chart right here. We can change the dashboard colors if we want to. Now for the settings for these, we can simply go down to the name of the dashboard, data dashboard. We can position this anywhere on the chart that we want to. We can show the multi-timeframe signal row, which works off the signals inside the script. We can use custom timeframes, so if you want to display different timeframes, let's say if you're scalping and you just want to go off of, let's say the, I don't know, 1 minute chart, right? Let's find it right here. Let's say you want to go off of 5 minute, you have your 15. Well, now it's going to tell you what signals are active on those time frames. So it's pretty cool to use. When you shut this off, it's just going to default back to where it's at. Now the double triangles on the direction just means it's a strong signal that's populated on that time frame. The single triangle is just a normal signal. Now the data dashboard tells us a few different things. It tells us the market state. Basically, it works off of our market state trend line right here. So right now it's yellow. It's telling us that the market is just going back and forth. It's ranging. Our price action goes off of our price action dots in the script. So if we go down to our candle signals, for example, price action candle dots, we turn those on. Current dot is red. Price action is bearish. Our volume ratio tells us if the overall volume, is it more bearish or is it more bullish? So it does this in a trending format. Right now it's telling us it's pretty bearish. Our squeeze, it tells us if there's a highly likelihood that a squeeze is going to take place. So the closer we get to 100, saying that the range is tight, get ready for a big move that's about to come. So we turn on our squeeze zones, and guess what? Our squeeze is on. And then we also have the trend strength as well. And that just basically tells us if the overall strength of the trend, is it bullish or is it bearish? I mean, clearly looking at Bitcoin daily chart right now, I mean, everything's pretty bearish, right? We've been correcting since October. Price action has been kind of crappy as commodities have ran. It's pretty crappy. Everything's been down. Of course, our data dashboard is going to be telling us this information as well. RSI is currently at 43.8. Our on balance volume, it can tell us if it's trending up or down. And CVD just basically tells us if the cumulative volume of buying or selling, if the overall of that is up or down as well. So it gives you all the information at a quick look and tells you everything that you need to know. So obviously for like Bitcoin daily, everything's bearish. But if we switch over to, let's say, gold, everything is pretty bullish on here too. So we can see, let's actually change the size for this data dashboard up. So of course, our data dashboard, let's go back to normal. So our trend strength for gold, as gold has just been ripping the last few weeks, a few months I should say. That's 70% strong, low chance of squeeze. Volume ratio right this second is at 28.57%, meaning that there's more bullish volume and buying than there's selling. Price action is bullish. Market state's in an uptrend. RSI is at 79.9, it's pretty high. OBV's up, CVD's up, all of our time frames are up. So as you can see from something like Bitcoin, which has been correcting, this whole data dashboard is red and bearish. And then we look at something like gold, everything is bullish. So it's pretty useful to see what each time frame is telling us right here. And maybe if we want to check out a different time frame, we can easily use that to scan and go to it if there's trade opportunities that are presenting itself there. All right, so we covered quite a bit today. Like I said, there's a lot of indicators inside EZ Algo V2. There's a lot of different combinations you can use for your everyday trading to build your own trading style, to build your own strategies, your own methods. Or, as always, we can easily just follow the signals in V2 as well too. But our indicator overlay is our tools to use to add confluence, tell us what direction price is heading, and we can use it in a multiple different ways, whether we're scalping, swinging, using it for commodities like gold, maybe we want to use something for like Tesla, right? Or anything else. There's the different combinations that we can, of course, use and give us a high certainty degree so we're not guessing, and it will tell us what direction price is heading and if the current price action, is it good to enter a trade right now or is it bad? Should we wait? Whatever the mystery is, I should say, of like what's going on in the markets, instead of guessing, we can just use EZ Algo V2 and it will tell us what we should do. Simple as that. Anyways, if you've been listening this long, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope this video added a lot more clarity to everything we can use in the script. Our next, one of the next videos we're going to be doing is covering over our oscillator waves, how we can use that to build even more confluence, and how we can use these together and in a variety of different market conditions and base our trades off of that. So anyways, thanks everybody for listening.